Hey everyone, welcome to a snowstorm truck review, I guess. Hiding from the snow under these trees and hiding from a neighbor who just started running their snowblower. But either way, today we're going to take a look at this 2023 GMC Sierra 1500 AT4X. The AT4X is a new trim level for the Sierra for 2022. This is the most off-road oriented Sierra, or almost the most off-road oriented Sierra. We'll get to that later. But basically, GM facelifted its trucks for its full-size trucks, the Silverado and Sierra, for the 2022 model year. The big change was that they got new interiors, which are a huge improvement over the interiors in prior model years. But the other big change is that they finally introduced true off-road trim levels. So the Silverado got a ZR2 trim, similar to the Colorado ZR2, and then the Sierra here got the AT4X trim. So prior to the introduction of these two new off-road trim levels, the most off-road oriented Silverado and Sierra you could get were the Silverado Trail Boss and Sierra AT4. Those were really superficial trim levels, though, more than anything. These trim levels introduce real off-road functionality to GM's full-size truck lineup. So they're kind of a big deal. As far as competitors go, these trims, this isn't quite the level of the Ford F-150 Raptor and Ram 1500 TRX. These vehicles are more aligned with, say, a Ram 1500 Rebel or a Ford F-150 Tremor or something like a Toyota Tundra TRD Pro. Before we move on, though, I should add that the Silverado ZR2 and Sierra AT4X here, they share most of their components, as is the case with most GMC and Chevrolet counterpart vehicles. But the Silverado actually offers a fair bit more capability. It's got more skid plating, it's got bigger tires, and it's got a better approach angle. The Sierra AT4X here, it trades a little bit of off-road capability for some added luxury. Or at least it does in theory. You be the judge. But yeah, on that note, let's do a tour of the GMC Sierra AT4X here and then take it out for a little drive through the snow. All right, we'll do a quick exterior tour here, focusing on the off-road bits. So you get red recovery points up front here. These are the same that come on the regular AT4 model. And like I said, this bumper is the same bumper that you get on the AT4. The Silverado ZR2 gets a unique bumper that adds approach angle, but on the Sierra AT4X, you just get the same bumper. Additionally, there aren't skid plates underneath this vehicle like there are, or to the extent that there are, on the Silverado ZR2. On the Sierra AT4X, there's just a transfer case skid plate. The Silverado, though, has a lot more skid plating. Moving around to the sides, I should add, one of the big ways in which the F-150 Raptor and Ram 1500 TRX differentiate themselves is via widened bodywork and a wider overall track. That's a big value add for those two vehicles. The Sierra, though, sticks with the same bodywork across the lineup, even on the AT4X here. These tires are 32-inch Goodyear Wrangler Duratrek all-terrain tires. You can see the tread there. Silverado ZR2 rides on 33-inch all-terrain tires or mud-terrain tires. And then these are 18-inch wheels. Moving down the side, there's your AT4X badge. There is your 6.2-liter V8 badge. That's the only engine that comes in this vehicle. That's GM's biggest, most potent truck engine. No power improvement for the AT4X here. It's the same 6.2 that comes in other Sierra models. This one has accessory rocker protection, or rock sliders, as they're sometimes referred. Here we can see the Multimatic shock absorbers, or at least we kind of can. Take a look here. They are, I've always just referred to them as a little bit more complicated than your everyday off-road shock absorbers, although they do perform really well. I'm not really willing to say that they're better than what you get from off-road trims on competitors, but they are pretty good. This truck rides really nicely. Moving around back here, the only other thing worth highlighting, I think, is the multi-pro tailgate. This tailgate, when it debuted, it was only available on GMC Sierra models, but now it's made its way over to the Silverado. But essentially, it's well, I call it a complicated tailgate, but it does add a lot of functionality. It's about $1,000. It's optional on a lot of different trim levels, but in addition to functioning as a regular tailgate, you get all kinds of other configurability. So you get this. So you can set it like that. They like to say that's a work surface. Put a laptop up there. I would probably do that. Here you get a load stopper in this position, and then you can put it down. See, there's 2 buttons there. There's your regular old tailgate functionality. And then you can use the load stopper in that position. I moved some drywall this weekend, and unfortunately a 4x8 sheet of drywall, this is the 6-foot bed. Unfortunately, a 4x8 sheet of drywall does not fit. You could probably fit other things in there, I'm sure. And then finally, maybe the best part is you can drop that down, and that makes for a massive step. All companies pretty much have, I call them complicated tailgates. Ford and Ram have their own designs, but as far as a step goes, you cannot beat this tailgate. Ford's design is a little bit more finicky than this, and I'm not sure Ram even has anything. And then the only other thing, you do get a handle here. So walking along, step up, grab the handle, and pull myself in. You really can't beat that. There we go. Close that. Things are moving a little bit slowly because of how cold it is. Here's a view from the rear. Oh yeah, and then there are corner steps on the bumpers. Let's hop inside. It's getting pretty cold. Oh, before we do climb inside, let's take a look at payload. So in addition to this DOT sticker, GM on its full-size trucks gives you this sticker, which in addition to talking about payload, you can see 1,323 pounds, tells you the trailering capabilities of your specific vehicle. So the max tongue weight on this one is 870 pounds, and then the max tow capacity with a conventional trailer is 8,700 pounds. So 1,323 pounds of payload is decent for the full-size truck segment. It's certainly better than what you get from Toyota, but move down to the mid-size, and I know the Ford Ranger would offer a little bit more than that. But overall, this is par for the course when it comes to full-size trucks. Okay, let's turn this on. So, start button is certainly unique. Here is the window sticker. So you can see this is a 2023. This is a 2023 GMC Sierra 1500 AT4X. It uses that 6.2 liter V8. Plenty powerful, and as equipped, it comes in at $81,000. The starting price of the AT4X is $77,500. Factor in a few little options here and there, and then a ridiculous $1,800 destination fee, and that's how you wind up at $81,000. As far as fuel economy goes, from the 6.2, it's really not great. The engine is powerful, but you do make a big compromise when it comes to fuel economy. This is rated at 14 city, 17 highway, and 15 mpg combined. Okay, as for this interior, it's really great. Keep in mind that this is an $81,000 truck, so the interior should be good. You get a really big infotainment screen here, and this is a great infotainment system. GM's infotainment is really good and has been for many years. Can't say that about all automakers, but this is one thing that GM has had a handle on for quite a while now. Great infotainment. You even get Google Maps, and I'm not connected with my phone or anything. Google Maps just comes up. There is an internet connectivity component to this infotainment system, and I mean that's iPad easiness levels of functionality right there. So that's really good. Down here are your HVAC controls to the right of this really big engine start-stop kind of paddle. I guess it's a button, kind of a paddle. Heated seats, GM always does this with their heated seats in their trucks, so you can set it to just heat the back. So that's maybe in warmer weather. If you have a sore back, you can just turn on back heating, or you can turn on full heating for back and bottom, and the seats are ventilated. One of the AT4X's big selling points, same goes with the Silverado ZR2, is that you get front and rear lockers. And something I noticed, we are in four-wheel drive auto mode. You can lock the rear differential in both four-wheel drive auto and even in two-wheel drive. So that's great if you're, I don't know, driving on sand or snow and you want to kick the back end out. You can lock the rear diff. And then to lock the front diff, the vehicle has to be in low range. But again, that's par for the course. That's about what you'd expect. This one has the transmission lever here on the center console. I honestly might prefer it right here, but this gives a, I don't know, a little bit more of a sportier feel with it right here. Easy to use. So here's park. Reverse, you push the button and go forward. Drive, push the button and go back. We'll go into reverse, take a look at the cameras. Cameras on this vehicle are really, really nice. They're very high quality. It's dark, it's snowy out. There's some gunk on the lenses, it looks like, but even still, I can make out individual footprints. I can make out the individual treads on my shoes that made these footprints on the ground. So that's really good. It's one of the best cameras in the business. Fully digital gauge cluster, that is also really nice. It's easy to read. You've got tachometer, speedometer, and then some four-wheel drive and like tilt and pitch and roll metrics there as well. Overhead, just a regular size sunroof. I know you can't see it very well. Sorry about the light, but it's a regular size sunroof. Some competitors offer a panoramic sunroof. This $81,000 Sierra AT4X just has a regular sunroof, which you can make the argument that it should have a panoramic sunroof at that price point. But honestly, a panoramic roof is something that I can leave on the table. I wouldn't miss it. Wouldn't miss it that much. Let's make sure we are in park and take a look at the back seat. Okay, here we are in the back seat of the Sierra AT4X here, and you can see there's plenty of room, or at least I hope you can see. I can fit my whole hand between my knee and the driver's seat back. I'm about 5'10". That's where the seat is when I'm driving. I have really long legs too, so maybe the seat's a little bit further back than it would be for the average person. But tons of space back here. Floor is pretty much flat. There's a slight hump right there. On the back of the center console, you've got heated outboard rear seats, and then USB-C and USB-A, in addition to a pair of air vents. There are no independent controls. Nothing down there. There are two cup holders right here, and then two more cup holders on a fold down armrest there, and not much else. Just loads and loads of space back here, as you would expect. Okay, now to go for a ride in this 2023 GMC Sierra 1500 AT4X. So we are in two-wheel drive mode. Let's switch into four-wheel drive auto. I love the new four-wheel drive auto feature that you get in these trucks. Just functions much like regular all-wheel drive for all intents and purposes. And this feature is available in pretty much every full-size truck now, I think. Going through some snow. Oh yeah. So the AT4X suspension, those Multimatic Dynamics DSSV shock absorbers are the real value add of the AT4X package here. In addition, I guess you could argue that the front locker is another value add. Something kind of weird, GM doesn't offer a rear locker in any of its trucks that don't also come with a front locker. So like Toyota, Ford, Ram, Nissan even, you can get an off-road trim level with just a rear locker, and I think that's probably the sweet spot. But GM, it's either no rear locker, just like a G80 auto locker, or you have to step up to these top-tier off-road trim levels to get a rear and a front locker. Kind of weird, but whatever. Okay, it's snowy. Okay, we'll punch it here. Okay, that's 40 miles per hour. Just take my word for it. This engine is pretty potent. I don't want to hit it too hard though, because the roads are almost all white. But yeah, the 6.2 liter V8, it's been around for a while. Good power. It's a V8. There's no turbo. I know some people don't like turbos. You do sacrifice in terms of fuel economy though. Although that said, even the Ford turbocharged stuff, real world fuel economy isn't usually what's listed on the window sticker. It's usually a few mpg less. So probably nets out to pretty much even between, say, like the Ford 3.5 liter turbo V6 versus the 6.2 V8 here. Good power though from this engine, and you do get a 10-speed automatic transmission. We've got paddle shifters here. If you want paddle shifters in your full-size truck, be my guest. Infotainment is really nice. Like I said, it's modern, it's sharp. It's just as sharp as if you were to pull up Google Maps on your phone or your computer screen. That's really nice. We like that. The buttons all look and feel pretty good. This interior is really, just really nice. I like the design. There's a lot of different surfaces and textures, which, maybe from a design standpoint, that's not as desirable, but everything feels really good. Fit and finish is nice. Top of the dashboard has some leather on it. That's really the big improvement that was made to these trucks. Ooh, skidded a little bit there. We slid a little bit. But interior is really where the big improvement was made to these trucks with that 2022 model year update. Before that update, I put these trucks at the bottom of the pack just because their interior was so old and so antiquated. But with this new interior, these trucks are now formidable. Going over our first speed bump here at about 19 miles per hour. Don't want to go too fast because it is really slick out here. The snow's really coming down. But I hit these speed bumps going much faster earlier in these shocks. I was at about 25 miles per hour. These shocks perform really well. Where you notice their performance is when you come down off of a speed bump, the truck doesn't wallow or bounce at all. It levels out. Yeah, it levels out like immediately. There's barely like a rebound bounce. Skid back onto our street here. It's dark outside, it's really snowy, and the cabin of this vehicle is just a really comfortable and cozy place to be right now. I'm actually really enjoying it. Okay, backing into my driveway here, and I'm actually going to lock the rear differential because that should help us get over the big hump that the snowplow has made. Yeah, this is a big vehicle. That's one drawback to these trucks, is they are just enormous. I live relatively close to downtown, and driving this in an urban setting is not too pleasant. Okay. So that is our look. If you can still see me, that is our look at this 2023, in this case, GMC Sierra 1500 AT4X. Like I said, this is the new off-road trim level for the Sierra. There is one step above this, in theory at least, and that is the Sierra AT4X AEV. AEV being American Expedition Vehicles. They're a company that builds expedition vehicles, and they do it really, really well. They're pretty much the best in the business when it comes to upfitting vehicles for off-road, long-distance off-road travel, aka overlanding. That package is like $8,000 or $9,000. You won't see too many of those. You'll see far more regular AT4X models. But either way, this is pretty much, as far as directly from GM goes, this is the off-road oriented version of the Sierra. Selling points of this vehicle are the Multimatic shock absorbers, the front locking differential, and am I missing something? All-terrain tires. That's kind of it as far as the Sierra goes. Like I said, the Silverado ZR2, the equivalent from Chevrolet, gives you a little bit more capability. The Sierra AT4X here, though, makes up for that by offering, in theory at least, a slightly nicer interior. For this vehicle, you're paying $81,000. Whether it's worth it or not is up to you. If you're just looking for off-road capability, you can do better from Ford, frankly, and probably from in terms of bang for your buck. You can get more probably even at lower tiers of the GM full-size truck lineup. But either way, this truck is a complete package. It offers a great interior, it offers off-road capability, and then on top of that, it maintains most, if not all, of the functionality of your everyday full-size truck. So that is our look at the GMC Sierra AT4X here. Thank you for watching.